Hey everybody, how are you doing? This is S.Anthony Thomas. This is the S.Anthony Thomas Show. And, a couple of, one or two embarrassing things happened to me this week. And that's not a big deal. It happens, or embarrassing things happen to everybody on a regular basis. But it's the first time I realized that even though I'm a smart guy, I'm pretty sure that I'm also an idiot. Okay, and, maybe you believe me, maybe you don't. I'm hoping you don't. I'm hoping you're thinking I'm a really smart guy and I'm not an idiot. But after this episode, maybe you're going to realize that I am kind of an idiot. And maybe you might have the same affliction. I'm not sure. You should listen to this episode and afterwards you tell me. So, are you ready to hear this week's episode? Of course you are. Let's do it. Okay, listen, on this podcast, this particular episode, I'm at the point now where I consider you guys friends in a way. I mean, don't ask to borrow any money because we're not that close. Moving on. But let's be honest here. I mean, there's certain things we need to actually admit about ourselves to ourselves. It's a harsh thing to admit about yourself. It's a harsh thing I'm going to admit about myself, but we have to do it. It's important and we have to make sure that we do it. And I want to do it on this podcast. I want to do this right now so we can get it off all of our chests and admit it. We're all idiots. We're smart, but we're idiots. And I'm going to say it. I'm just going to admit it right now. I'm going to say it. I want you to say it with me. And if you don't say it with me right now, at the end of this episode, you're going to go, okay, I'm going to say it. But I'm going to say it right now. I know I'm smart, but I'm also an idiot. I know it sounds harsh. I'll explain why I say this. I'm a smart guy, and I'm usually the guy that my friends and people that are around me always come to me to ask for my advice on things. They seem to think that I'm a smart guy and a level-headed guy, and I think that's the truth. I'm not tooting my own horn, but that's what people have said to me. Okay? So when they have their problems, they come rushing up to me. I've actually had couples come to me. I'm like, there's this new thing called marriage counseling. Is there any way that you could go to do that? Because I'm trying to finish this hoagie. Not that I'm saying that my hoagie was more important than their particular relationship, but it was a really good hoagie. I should probably cut that part out of the podcast. It sounds bad, but that was a good hoagie. Moving on. But I realized that even though my friends ask me to help them out, I realize that I am in fact an idiot. I'll explain what I'm talking about. The washer and dryer was not working. It was just not working. It was messing up clothes. I'd put white clothes in. You turn the water to the white clothes. You don't even have a temperature thing on it. It says white. You click to the thing, click white. You press the button. It comes on. You put your white clothes in, a bunch of socks and t-shirts, and they were not clean. They weren't clean at all. I mean, they were cleaner than when they went in, but they weren't clean. They were clean enough to wear, but they weren't the bright clean that they usually were. And I'm thinking all of a sudden something's wrong with the detergent. I even contemplated writing a letter to the company or tweeting the company or emailing the company. I was infuriated. How dare you? You changed the packaging on your detergent and now it doesn't work anymore. Well, maybe you should go back to the old packaging and maybe you should go back to the old formula. It must be your fault. I can't stand it. I then put my colored clothes into the washing machine after the disappointment with the white clothes. I mean, they can't mess those up. They're not even really that dirty. I don't allow my clothes to get dirty. They're likely, dirty. They're dirty like a guy who keeps himself clean, wears them once, and it's time to wash them. So I put it in, I turn to the appropriate color setting, I hit the button, and I come back and all of my clothes are ruined. What the heck? They're all faded and splotchy. What the heck is going on here? It's that detergent. I gave that detergent a second chance with my clothes. It's my fault. I'm an idiot for giving that detergent a second class. It already ruined my whites and now it ruined my colors. This is horrible. I can't stand it. It's horrible. I try another detergent, and they also ruined my whites and my colors, and I'm thinking, oh, I know what's going on. The first company was probably mad at me, and they told the other companies, hey, completely ruin your formula so you can mess up all of S.Anthony's clothes that he just bought because we already ruined his other clothes. Okay, that's ridiculous, but you get what I'm saying. And then I realized, wait a second, I'm going to call the guy. Maybe it's the washing machine. Maybe there's something wrong with the washing machine. I'm going to have the washing machine repair person come in, and it'll take care of that. And as it turns out, even though I didn't actually write the letters to those companies who had the detergent, I do owe them a mental apology because they, in fact, were not the problem. No, they didn't do anything wrong. No. It was the washing machine that was the problem. I'm an idiot. Now, was it a circuit board problem with the washing machine? No. Do you know what the problem was? When it comes to the washing being attached to the sink, the hot water was attached to the cold water opening, and the cold water was attached to the hot water opening. So when I put in my colored clothes, they were hit with steaming hot water. And when I put in my white clothes, they were washed in super duper cold water, the exact opposite of what's needed. Had I actually just turned on the washing machine, let the water start coming in, and just stuck my hand under to see that the water was the wrong temperature, I could have easily deduced, wait a minute, I better change these two openings here. I better change these things here to make sure that nothing happens, huh? I should do that. That's what I need to do. But I didn't do that. Why? Because I'm an idiot. And I silently called myself an idiot. We've all silently called ourselves idiots. In fact, you've been silently called an idiot by people that you know. If you're married or living with someone, I'm just going to use the guys in this example. If you don't think your wife has silently called you an idiot on many occasions, then you are an... You see that pause there? I just silently called you an idiot. Because that's what your wife does. Oh, yes, she does. Yes, she does. Have you ever done anything and your wife's like, oh, it's okay, Bill, not a problem. I understand. It's not a big deal that you completely ruined something that was important to me because you decided to do something stupid. Not a problem. And there's a pause there. What you don't know is that silence is actually a comma and the word idiot. You don't hear the comma because the comma doesn't have a sound. The comma just indicates that after itself, a pause will be there. And since there's no word after the comma, the pause is just silent. We'll be back right after this short break. If you're like me, finding a place to eat is never an easy thing to do. Whether I'm in my hometown of Philadelphia or traveling, I always find myself wishing I had a trusted friend I could call to tell me where to eat. The infatuation is that friend. The infatuation helps you find the right restaurant for any situation. Need a place for a first date? Trying to find a spot for your birthday that you don't want to celebrate except you also kind of do. The infatuation has you covered in all of these situations and many, many more. So if you ever need to find a place to eat but don't want to rely or read through thousands of unreliable crowdsourced reviews, hit up theinfatuation.com or download the free iOS app and Android app to search thousands of restaurant reviews and guides in 22 major cities around the world. Or let the infatuation do the work for you by sending a text to 64560. A real person will respond to you and help you find a restaurant that's perfect for whatever situation you find yourself in. Theinfatuation.com. THEINFATUATION.com. And now, back to the show. And the silence is the word idiot, because she silently called you an idiot. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you haven't silently called her an idiot. I've been there before. I know what it's like to be watching a playoff game, and she comes into the room and literally picks up the remote control and turns off the television. With 2 seconds left and my team has the ball and they're about to shoot the ball, and it's in the air and click. We got to talk about this relationship. I know this particular conversation could literally have begun 10 seconds from now, where you would literally either be celebrating the fact that your favorite team won or really, really angry that your favorite team lost. And if your favorite team had won the game, you wouldn't mind talking because you'd be in a good mood because they won. And if your team lost, you wouldn't mind talking because, quite frankly, you'd be so depressed that they lost that particular game, you'd want to forget all about it and thus lose yourself in this conversation. But I wasn't even paying attention to the fact that you're watching that. I just immediately abruptly turned off the television set and started talking to you about stuff that could have waited. And you were sitting there, you're going, I don't want to get in trouble again. And they go, no, dear, it doesn't really matter that I've been waiting for this particular game for weeks. And I was literally sitting here with popcorn and snacks because it was all about me watching this particular game. And if you had actually looked at the TV before you grabbed the remote control and turned it off, you would have noticed that you've waited another few seconds but it's okay, comma, pause. She doesn't hear the comma. Like I said, the comma has no sound, and she doesn't hear you silently calling her idiots because you don't want her to hear you calling her an idiot. Because you don't want to get in any more trouble. She's already sitting there trying to talk to you about the relationship. You don't want any problems. Or as the kids say, you don't want that smoke. You know what I'm talking about. But it happens in many, many occasions, right? You're calling someone else an idiot silently. They're calling you an idiot silently. You know you're both smart people, but it doesn't even have to just be adults. Oh, no, 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 no. Sometimes it's the young ones. You don't think your kids have called you an idiot many, many times? They know better than to actually call you an idiot to your face. They don't want to do that. Hell, your spouse doesn't want to call you an idiot. You can't do anything to her, and you can't do anything to him. But you can ground their kids and take their car, can't you? Right? You can't ground your wife or your husband. You can't do that crap, and you're married, so you're not having sex anyway. So what are you going to do to them? You're not going anywhere. Neither one, and no one else is attracted to you two because you're both miserable in the face because you're married. Moving back to the story. Sitting there with your smartphone. You didn't want to give up your flip phone at all. Everybody laughs at you all the time. You're a grown man with a flip phone, and even other adults are looking at you like, what the heck are you doing with a flip phone, dude? What is this, 1992, loser, right? Your kids finally browbeating you into getting an actual smartphone, and then they now realize they should have just let you keep the flip phone because all of a sudden they've become your every 5 minutes IT department, right? You go up to them, hey, Jim, yeah, Dad, how do you do this thing with the phone thing right here with the thing and the thing on the screen with the stuff and the thing? Dad, what do you want to do? Oh, well, I want to open up the Facebook thing. Okay, you see that F in the blue square? Yeah, that's Facebook. Okay. Oh, now what do I do? Well, you just tap the F. Tap it? Okay. You don't have to tap it that hard, Dad. It's not a button. It's a touch screen. You can just touch it. Okay. All right. Now what do I do? What do I do next? You see that thing at the bottom of the screen in a blue triangle with the word next in it? Yeah. Hit that, because that implies that you wanted to go to the next thing and do what's next. Oh, so I hit next to go to the next. Oh, this is great. All right, granddad. Now what do I do? Well, fill out the thing right there. Okay, it's all filled out. Now what do I do? What do I do next? Once again, Dad, if you look to the bottom of the screen where it says next, yeah, hit that. Oh, so whenever I want to go to next, I hit the word next. Okay, there we go. Hey, this screen was already auto-filled. Is that what you call it, auto-filled? Yes, Dad, auto-filled, yeah. All right, well, this is auto-filled, and I'm going to hit the next. I'm hitting next, and nothing's actually working. Dad, you're actually just hitting the word next inside of the text. There's a button at the bottom that says next. You're just hitting the word next that was randomly placed in the text of the... Give me the phone, Dad. All right. Here you go, Dad. So from now on, I'm going to have all of your apps filled out. Okay, everything is set up. I've signed you up for everything. So whenever you want to do anything on the phone, any of those apps, you just hit that app and it will automatically start. Hear that pause at the end of what he said to his dad? You never guess what's there. Yeah, that's right. A comma and the word idiot. That's very silent, because you can't call your mama, your dad an idiot. Now, you listen to me on a regular basis, and a lot of you listen to both of my podcasts. This podcast called the S.Anthony Thomas Show, the other podcast called the S.Anthony Says Podcast, and thank you for that. And you know I love you for that, and I appreciate your kind words. And I know you're smart people. But let's be honest, just like me, you're also an idiot. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry, I should probably say it a different way. You know what you guys are, right? That pauses me calling you idiots. And you know what I am, don't you? And that pauses me calling me an idiot. So let's just realize that we're all idiots. We're all smart people, but we're also all idiots. But you know what that doesn't stop me from doing? It doesn't stop me from loving every last one of you idiots. I probably should not have, I probably went too far with the last one, but okay. Anyway, I just want to say that I'm out of here. I will see you again next time. And any of you that listen to this episode and don't come back next time, well, you know what you are. You're a... Much love to you all. See you next time. All right, everybody, that has been this episode. Thank you very, very much for everything. I appreciate all the love. Thank you for listening. I will see you again next time. Much love to all of you. Take care.